We now take you live
to the Central Texas Command Center
in the heart of the resistance. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Well, for the next hour and a half, Gerald Celente, top trends researcher, will join us on a host of issues: the economy, Iran, Pakistan, what's happening, of course, with North Korea, and your phone calls. We'll start taking calls in the next hour. The toll-free number, you want to start getting lined up, we'd love to hear from you. 1-800-259-9231. Any issue you wish to raise, but address it to Gerald Celente as a question or a comment. Before we go to Gerald Celente joining us via video connection from New York, I want to just remind folks we have the online video bookstore / Patriot Apparel store at prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com. Two different shopping carts to choose from, whether it's the T-shirts, the ball caps. They're all massively discounted, and your purchase supports the broadcast. But most importantly, it allows you to identify with others and meet like-minded people. You wear these shirts in public, you'll find out how many patriots there are out there, and it gets the word out. Plus, the purchase makes this show possible. And we had a very successful promo special we did for about 2 weeks. Buy one copy of The Obama Deception, get 3 free. Of course, Gerald's in The Obama Deception and Fall of the Republic, a great expert witness in the film about the global takedown of our society. And we now have Fall of the Republic, buy one, get 3 free, or buy 2, get 8 free. You can do your Christmas shopping early here and get 10 copies for $39.95 or get 4 copies for $19.95. You can get Invisible Empire, New World Order Defined, Jason Bermas's film, New World Order on Trial. For the first time ever, the secret agenda of the planet's ruthless superclass that is exposed in stark detail. This documentary film chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government. Learn how the global oligarchy controls the populace through drug trafficking, money laundering, staged terror attacks, media propaganda, and debt. The criminal controllers have successfully dominated the globe and are now in the final phase of consolidating power. Visible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents. Worldwide tyranny isn't coming, it's here. This isn't conspiracy theory, it's conspiracy fact. The New World Order is out in the open and documented in stunning living color. Unelected bureaucrats are establishing regional unions under one superstate. Witness their plan for a global tax and a cashless surveillance society in which every man, woman, and child is microchipped at birth. And the bonus features are the G20 protest and arrest and Peter Dale Scott interview. More than 3 hours of material. Invisible Empire, New World Order Defined. Infowars.com. Buy one copy, get 3 free. You can also call toll-free. We've got a bunch of other specials and combos. 888-253-3139. 888-253-3139. Or you can download all the films in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv. If you're a member, you can also write to us at P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas 78760. P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas 78760. Alex Jones, of course, or Infowars.com, and it will get to us. You can also get Police State 4, The Rise of FEMA, a total breakdown of the entire police state takeover, invaluable information. Get 1 copy, get 3 free. Get 2 copies, get 8 free. That's less than $4 a piece when you get the 10 copies for the price of 2. Infowars.com. Gerald Celente, founder of the Trends Research Institute in 1980. We're excited to hear that Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, former head of policy for the Treasury, Wall Street Journal editor, has joined the team. He announced that last week with us. Trendsresearch.com is the website. It's invaluable report that everybody's got to get each month. And, of course, the intel reports that are on the site on a daily basis. Gerald Celente is a pioneer trend strategist. He's the author of the national bestseller Trends 2000 and Trends Tracking, far better than Megatrends, and publisher of the International Circulated Trends Journal newsletter. He's a political atheist. Gerald Celente is a political atheist, unencumbered by political dogma. And you can learn more, of course, at trendsresearch.com. The proof is the past. Gerald Celente has earned his reputation as the most trusted name in trends by accurately forecasting hundreds of social, business, consumer, environmental, economic, political, entertainment, and technological trends among them. Gerald, great to have you joining us, sir.
Oh, it's always great being on with you, Alex.
Well, it's awesome having you, Gerald, with us here today. going over all of this information, there's obviously a lot that I want to ask you. CNBC saying it's a depression, not a recession. The Federal Reserve coming out today and saying we are in deep trouble. We've got more of the same poison as the solution. But with everything happening, just break down the current trends and what you think is most important before I start asking questions.
Well, they're admitting what we've been saying all along, that there would be no recovery. This isn't a double-dip recession. We never got out of the first dip. And we kept saying over and over and over that you cannot keep printing this phantom money out of thin air, backed by nothing and producing practically nothing. It was just a cover-up. Now, unfortunately, as we've also been saying all along, when all else fails, they take you to war. It's as almost though Orwell wrote the script. Last week, our esteemed Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was in, of all places, Vietnam. Can you imagine? In Vietnam, now the United States is making a military alliance with those Vietnamese. Remember how the U.S. government sent over some 60,000 of our soldiers to get slaughtered. That's how many were killed in the Vietnam War. Several 100,000 ruined. Millions of Vietnamese killed, and now they're, according to Ms. Clinton, our strategic ally, and the dispute going on between Vietnam and China over islands in the South China Sea, she said, quote, are of national U.S. interest. No, they're not. They are, I am a national, and they're not of my interest, and I don't need her or any other flunky out there telling me what my interest is, being that I pay for this stuff. So what they're doing is they're bringing us closer into wars all over the globe. And as we heard Fidel Castro say this past weekend, the Iranians are not going to tolerate the United States or Great Britain or any other flunky ally boarding their ships to see what's on board come September. They're setting us up for war. And I want to make this really clear, Alex. Anybody that's voting for war against Iran, let them pack up themselves, their wives, and their kids and go fight the war and empty out your bank accounts and go support it. And all these people that call themselves leaders, let them lead us into war. Let Hillary and Bill and little baby Chelsea and her husband, let them go to war. Let Pelosi, let Frank, let Bonner, let Bond, let McConnell, let them go to war. If they don't go to war, if these wankers on the Council on Foreign Affairs don't go to war, as these swivel chair generals yak it up on the media, don't go to war, then there's no war. Until they go, until they put their lives on the line, end the war. The wars are bankrupting this country. I heard that other guy, that Krugman today, writing from the toilet paper of record, the New York Times, saying what's wrong with this country and what needs to be done to correct it. Not 1 inch, not one line of the wars that are draining the Treasury. And then you pick up today's newspaper, hey, the United States just did a $30 billion deal with Saudi Arabia. You know, that wonderful democracy over there? $30 billion worth of planes being sold. It's all a racket.
F-16s.
Period, paragraph.
Well, Gerald, you're absolutely right. And it's in the news, but it's in the back of the paper that Israel is planning to strike Iran in the next 3 months. And you would think this would be a bigger issue because every analyst out there agrees it runs from bad to worse, at least doubling oil prices. They'll use the war as a police state crackdown. Obama will use it as a way to rally people around him going into the election. It could easily trigger terror attacks in the United States and could trigger World War III with China. and Russia, with Pakistan and India. They could go to war. Most analysts agree there's a good chance World War III could start. And they're about to launch this, and it's not even a major news item. Instead, we're hearing about Lindsay Lohan.
Well, again, this country's turned snooky stupid. I heard Obama on The View. I had to watch this stuff to see what he says. And that's exactly what they're talking about. The President of the United States has nothing else to do with his time than to sit down with 5 gaggling women talking about Lindsay Lohan, Mel Gibson, and Snooki. The New York Times, again, the toilet paper of record, a whole big feature on Snooki. Why do we even know this stuff? It's perfect. Bread and circuses as the empire is declining. So when we go back to Iran, and we just put out a trend alert, you got it, about why Obama won't debate with Ahmadinejad over these issues. Well, I have to tell you, subscribers to the Trends Journal criticizing us for saying that, listen, why don't they debate? And people are going to once again be led into a fake war, just as they did with Bush. And they're going to do it again with Obama in Iran, and you hit it perfectly. It will be another excuse to tighten up on the police state antics that are already in place, because after all, Alex, they're just doing it to protect us.
Well, I mean, look at the nation. It's disintegrating from Ohio to California. Many cities are laying off, and counties, more than half their deputies are police. LA's announcing they're not going to fix many roads and sidewalks. They're announcing massive layoffs at the state and local level. Corporations are shutting down. They admit we're going into a depression, a double-dip recession. And then meanwhile, the federal government's hiring. They're increasing wages. The defense budget's going up. They're talking about $2 trillion in additional lending by banks that'll go on the taxpayer rolls. I mean, you can see this global elite using up the treasure of the empire. We're bankrupt. And they are showing that instead of slowing down, they're accelerating us towards financial and economic and military ruin.
Again, you're right, and this isn't rhetoric.
We just lost Gerald's audio. Joining us via New York. We'll get that hooked back up with him right now. Was that on our end or on his end, guys? That happens occasionally. You know, it's the wonders of video. While we're at it, let's get him to tip the camera down. Gerald Celente, again, breaking all of this down with us. And next hour, we're going to have the phones open. They're open now. 1-800-259-9231 is the toll-free number to join us. I mean, look at this economic news. Economic slowdown catches up with NASCAR. They're no longer jam-packed. They're seeing the tickets go way down in price and a lot smaller crowds. I mean, it's even affecting NASCAR, and the government's saying, let them eat cake. Everything's wonderful. We told you last week this was coming with Bob Chapman. Now, here it is in the Financial Times of London. Fed set to downgrade U.S. outlook for U.S. I mean, they knew full well that the stimulus was just going to line their pockets and that there needed to be another one and another one. But all of this gets put back on the backs of the American people.